We have these and other stories. Please stay with us. Some local companies have been assisted financially to produce personal protective equipment locally. UNDP and the Japanese government are supporting Malawi's project of producing personal protective equipment locally at a time when the country relies mainly on imported PPEs. Minister of Health, Kumbisa Kandoli-Ponda, on Saturday commended the initiative during the project launch at Kamuzu University of Health Sciences in Blantyre. Thomas Kachire has more in this report.
Kumbisa Kandoli-Ponda said her ministry is grateful for the support from UNDP and Japanese government because it is also involving small and medium enterprises in the production of the material. She said she was proud of the colleges for the initiative in addressing the needs of the people, especially during the time of the pandemic.
So the most important thing that it is also being involving CMEs, these are small and medium enterprise, local Malawians who are also involved in the production of the PPEs. And indeed today we have seen they have produced face masks. These are washable face masks, which is even better than the ones we are wearing. But they're also producing face guards. But they're also producing, we have seen they have invented a nebulizer, they have also invented a ventilator, oxygen ventilator. So it is a very, very good project and we are very proud of our colleges.
Japanese ambassador to Malawi, Satoshi Wakiri, said his country has committed to provide a grant of about 1 billion kwacha from the supplementary budget through UNDP for the implementation of the project titled Increasing COVID-19 PPE Access to Malawi. UNDP resident representative Shikegi Komatsubara said their organization came in after noting that most of the material were being imported when the country has the capacity to produce.
As we all know, COVID-19 started just around this time last year. And we observed that most of the things we're using, masks, face shields, sanitizers, were all imported. And naturally the question came to us, why can't Malawi do it ourselves?
Meanwhile, chairperson for the project, David Nkwambisi, said the project will strengthen the partnership between public universities and the government to address challenges faced by communities.
In this one, we are going to expect a lot of capacity building to the universities, but also we are going to expect quality products that can be on the market, but also be accessed by people that don't have resources. This is also a project that is trying to strengthen the partnership between public universities as well as the government, but also to address the needs that are being affected by the communities.
This is a year-long production project to be done by various public universities under the Innovation Coordination Team, which has been largely supported by UNDP and the Japanese government. The core aim is to improve supply chain of the PPEs to all frontline workers and the people who could not access them.
Education expert Limbanim Sabato has asked the Ministry of Education to exercise financial prudence and accountability in the implementation of a World Bank-supported 7 billion kwacha equity with quality and learning at secondary project. The 6-year project, which started in 2019, aims to improve the quality of science and mathematics in community-day secondary schools. The Gracious Mana has compiled this report, read by Fale Banda.
Sabato, who is also Executive Director for Educans, said it is necessary for the ministry to exercise financial prudence and accountability to ensure efficient implementation and seal loopholes which would give way to corruptible gymnastics. He also asked the ministry to involve NGOs and work with communities for their support in the implementation of the project. Ministry of Education Public Relations Officer Kwagwanji confirmed the project. 8 community-day secondary schools selected from 13 remote districts are expected to be upgraded to absorption capacity and learning environments like district-day public secondary schools. The project, which seeks to increase access to secondary education in selected remote areas, will also expand at least to 20 district-day secondary schools. The selection criteria for the beneficiary CDSSs include NIDE and report cluster lead schools among the targeted 43 school clusters.
Lack of support continues putting most girls out of school. In this report, Isaac Salima looks at the need for stakeholders to join hands in keeping the girls in school.
Faris Kariati from Podogoma village in traditional Ferena Zombe in Palombe district wishes to one day become a medical doctor. Her dreams suffered a major setback in 2017 when she was impregnated by her boyfriend. She was forced into a love affair so that she could be getting money for her school needs.
I was forced into a relationship because I was lacking support for my education needs, and unfortunately, I ended up getting pregnant. I'm happy that I'm now back in school.
And a 17-year-old Edith Mukori dropped out of school in 2019. While in 36, she comes from a very poor family and had nobody to support her. Each day, needy students are being forced to drop out of school and unfortunately end up into early marriages. Concerned by such developments, Network for Youth Development has been implementing a Girls Get Equal program aimed at ending early marriages. The organization organized a gathering of different stakeholders in Palombe district to discuss ways on how they can address some of the challenges affecting girl child education. Gift Numeri is the organization's executive director.
Today we assembled different stakeholders that are working in Palombe to fight against child marriages, early marriages, sexual violence, and any sort of abuse that targets children in this area. The dialogue is basically looking at where we're coming from and where we're going, because as you know, everyone is talking about child abuse cases, early marriages. Each and every day we are hearing of cases that are increasing. But the question now that we're having today in this dialogue is to find out why is it that we are getting to this level where the cases are still increasing.
Through the project, the organization has managed to get 40 girls from Palombe district back to school. During the event, 15 girls received uniforms, bags, soap, pens and other items so as to encourage them to be in school. Palombe District Education Manager Sonex Kalwe, he said he is pleased that through such initiatives, most girls are now back in school.
The main problem before improvement on dropouts, early marriages or even early pregnancies, it was because there was lack of sensitization. Of course, we were trying to sensitize the parents, but we had also we have other stakeholders who can also assist in sensitizing the community. So with the coming of these non-government organizations, they are now going into remote areas, very remote areas, sensitizing the community.
The project is in a second of its 5-year period.
Authorities at Southeast Education Division have warned teachers against taking part in different forms of abuse and violence targeting the girl child. Southeast Education Division Principal Planner Enifa Kamaza noted that it is worrisome that some teachers are culprits in defilement cases and other forms of sexual abuses the country is registering. TSM Munjeza has this report read by Mande Pondani.
Speaking at St. Mary's Secondary School in Zomba during the awarding of students who performed well in the 2020 Malawi School Certificate of Education examination, Kamaza said teachers should act as role models to girls who are becoming targets of different forms of abuse, including defilement. She further called on girls to ensure they report to their teachers, parents and police once they encounter any abuse.
They should desist from themselves from such unbecoming behavior. What they should know is once you have told a girl, is you have actually transformed the whole nation. Because we have been saying that education forms the integral part of development. So if we are not educating a girl, it means that we will not develop as a country.
St. Mary's Secondary School head teacher, Sister Anika Bina, called on parents to ensure they are fully supporting the children so that girls are focused on their studies.
The awards for their daughters, because you find sometimes some students, fees is not paid in good time. When they do so, you disappoint the students. They lose that heart of hard-working spirit. So parents should see to it that they pay the fees in time, they support their students, they provide all the necessary materials so that the girls are not taken up with boys or with these young men who may try to cheat them because they are lacking the necessities for their education.
And Durande Katawa, who scored 7 points, encouraged other girls to always aim high and never look down upon themselves.
You shouldn't fear anyone. You shouldn't. You can actually do whatever you want in life. Everything is possible. Though people say the sky is the limit, I believe that the sky is just the beginning. We can do a lot. I have learned to always be the best because the best is good enough. Nothing more. Nothing further. You should always aim to be an inspiration to others.
The 12 best performing students were awarded with 50,000 kwacha cash each and a certificate of recognition. All the 138 students who sat for the 2020 Malawi School Certificate of Examinations at the school passed the exams, representing a 100% pass rate.
Minister of Forestry and Natural Resources Nancy Tembo says it is everyone's responsibility to make sure that the environment is kept clean regardless of party affiliation. Tembo said this when she joined Malawi Congress Party youths in a clean-up campaign in Lilongwe City on Friday. Tembo commended the MCP youths for the initiative. Rebecca Chinjeka has more in this report read by Blessings Mpinganjira.
According to Tembo, the youth have the responsibility to make sure that the environment is clean. The initiative follows the direction given by President Lazarus Chakwera, who urged citizens to take charge of the cleanliness of their surroundings. On her part, Mayor for Lilongwe City, Juliana Kaduya, said it is worrisome to note that Lilongwe City has drainage systems that are full of garbage, which contribute to flooding.
The thing of making a place to be clean, or maybe sweeping the streets, or maybe in the markets, even in their homes, is the responsibility of everybody. It's not the responsibility of one of the president, or maybe the MP, or the council, or the minister, or the mayor, no. But every person should take the responsibility of making out the city to look clean. Even the village, we even want the village to be looking clean.
Chairperson for Malawi Congress Party Youth, Emmanuel Tembachako, said the exercise was to ensure that the youth show ownership of their surroundings and the environment.
The reason behind is to show the nation that we are the product of this nation. So we own this country. We may not be happy when we see things are not working. For instance, you see yourself how we have managed to clean the central market of Lilongwe. So it's not only the central market of Lilongwe, but we have a lot of markets which also need our help.
The party has since called on the other youth from other political parties to clean the environment.
We will be back after this break.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Tikolole kungonjezera mayunits atnm kuyambira 200 kwacha kapena kuposera pamenepo mutha kukhala mmodzi mwa mamilioneya mu tnm tikolole promotion. Koma mukaonjezera mayunits ndi 100 kwacha kapena kuposerapo mudzilandira mabonus oyimbira foni, sms kapena data pompo.
TNM, always with you.
Welcome back. Over 100 people have been arrested in the Southwest Police Post in this year's Basadi operation. This has been revealed at the end of this year's operation at Southern Region Police Headquarters in Blantyre. Basadi operation is a 3-day event in which all police operations are handled by police women. More in this report by Justin Nkweo.
The saying always goes, what a man can do, a woman can do. This has been proved further in the last 3 days when police operations were left in the hands of police women. According to Southwest Region Police Public Relations Officer Edith Kajotsa, this year they focused on curbing gender-based violence and enforcing COVID prevention measures.
We were targeting on suspects who have previously committed offenses like defilement, like abduction, like rape, and they were not arrested. So we were looking for those persons. And as of now, we are proud to tell the nation that we have managed to arrest 4 suspects for defilement. In fact, one of them has been convicted and sentenced to 20 years imprisonment with hard labor. We have also managed to arrest a woman who bent her child on the leg. We also rescued minors from prostitution, and we have arrested women who deserted their children.
One of police women, Mabel Runda, said the operation has helped them not to look down on themselves. She added that even though the operation has ended, they will continue approaching work with vigilance.
As a police officer, it has helped me a lot, because looking at what we have done for the past 3 days, it was not easy, but we have made it.
The operation was happening across the Zodiak region.
A recent research conducted by Saulos Children's Village in Mzimba has revealed that many community-based organizations risk closure due to funding challenges. The research has also revealed that most donors have lost trust in CBOs, particularly on financial management. From Nzuzu, Sam Kalimira reports.
SOS Children's Village consultant Eugenio Njoloma recommended that Mzimba District Executive Committee members should quickly intervene by capacitating CBOs on financial management and proposal writing. Njoloma said the council and other stakeholders can support CBOs by initiating income-generating programs that will help the CBOs' operations.
The CBOs are very, very weak, but they are very, very passionate about the work they want to do in trying to help the children, and that requires integrated efforts from so many partners to join hands to give them the necessary capacity.
Mzimba District Principal Nutrition and HIV Officer Frank Mfune said the report is a true reflection on the ground, adding out of the 300 CBOs in the district, only a few CBOs are active. Mfune said the council will soon start engaging partners that are implementing projects related to children's rights to incorporate components that will help CBOs grow and graduate to local and governmental organizations.
It did allude to the fact that most of the CBOs currently are struggling in terms of finding support. As a district, we have close to 300 CBOs that we have in our records, but most of them are not functional. mostly because of issues of resources as well as capacities.
But Mzuzu SOS Children's Village Programs Director George Kondowe said if the report can be taken seriously and work on the recommendations, many CBOs can be revamped and serve their constituencies better.
So for us as an organization, we will try our best to respond to some of the gaps that have been highlighted in the report. But it is not only the show of SOS. As you may have noted in the meeting, there are also some areas that require the local council to respond.
SOS Children's Village is implementing a family strengthening program in which it is working with 355 households within 4 CBOs around Choma in Mzimba North.
Kasupe Sacco under Lilongwe Water Board has disclosed that it has made a profit of 11.1 million kwacha. In 2019, the Sacco registered about 8.1 million kwacha profit. Wezi Gausi reports.
The figure represents 25% of profits. Kasupe Sacco President Philip Kaingo says the organization made the profit despite being hit hard by COVID-19 pandemic. Kaingo says the profits were made because of lending initiatives that the institution put in place.
Through the hard work that we have shown, we're able at least to make a profit of 11 million, which is good for us. We were also able to put up a loan product, which was aiming to support our staff during the lockdown period. So, yeah, we have made a profit, but it's because of our hard work and also our strategies that we put in place to help us during the period.
Moscow Technical Services and Compliance Manager Marco Nkoma called on other SACCOs in the country to emulate the good example.
Yeah, the other SACCOs should emulate this practice of the SACCO, whereby it is growing its membership, because SACCO business is a game of numbers. If you have very few members, then performance is also likely to be low.
Moscow has, however, admitted that COVID-19 hit most SACCOs in the year ended.
National Bank of Malawi has launched a new service called Kasupe Finance, which will provide village banks with a finance account. National Bank plans to provide cheaper source of funding which village banks can lend at a profit. Nkhani Kachaje has the details.
National Bank of Malawi, head of retail banking, also in Kasunda, welcomed village banks to open this new Kasupe finance account. Kasunda said the bank hopes this partnership with the village banks will address some problems the banks face.
You must understand that village banks have existed for a long time in the country. They have operated on their own, and in most cases it has been they have not associated with the banks. We saw an opportunity and we thought that we can fill the gap by engaging them, because we did identify gaps in their operations. We did a research in the whole country. We checked with sample groups of village banks, and they gave us the challenges that they are facing in their operations. Today, we are saying that let's enter into this partnership where the bank is going to provide a number of services. And the services include transactional accounts, include credit offering, includes workshops, training for them. It includes providing them digital channel services as well.
Village Bank representative Angela Kachelenga said this partnership will provide village banks with more funds that they need.
A very innovative product. As women, we have faced a lot of problems whenever we engaged ourselves in village banks. So we think that with access to finance by National Bank, with the coming in of this product, it's going to benefit a lot.
National Bank of Malawi has also launched a promotion called Aglulatu to motivate village banks to open a Kasupe finance account and stand the chance to win a grand prize of 3 million kwacha.
That's the news for now, but before we go the headlines once again, some local companies empowered financially to produce personal protective equipment locally. Ministry of Education rolls out 7 billion kwacha project. Over 100 people arrested in an operation by female police officers in Blanta. You have been with me, Yanko Seunda. Thanks for watching.